Hey YouTube fans, it's me, the Storyman, and welcome back to my latest video. Today I'm reading a new story which I made from Chat GPT, which I call The First Voice. So remember folks, like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and please leave your comment down in the comment section below. Remember, the story is made by Chat GPT, or the voice acting, dramatic flair, what else? Storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing were all done by a real-life human being, for which I call myself the Storyman. Looks like it's pretty weird weather today. Let's see if the story may make things a little better. Long before history was written, before kings raised cities or ships crossed oceans, the world held a secret. Animals could understand humans. You know, and fair point though, animals can't understand us. They know what we are. They know us better. I wonder how much they understand us. I guess we'll never know. Humans, however, only heard barks, chirps, growls, and songs. The silence between them became a wall that lasted thousands of years. In the oldest forest, beneath an oak older than memory itself, lived an ordinary squirrel named Bramble. He was not the strongest, he was not the fastest, he wasn't even particularly brave. He simply asked too many questions. Why do humans cut down trees? Why do humans fear fire? Why do birds fly south if the sky belongs to everyone? Unfortunately, the other squirrels just would chatter and just don't care about that stuff. This is mostly their answers. Stop wondering! Gather acorns! Winter is coming! But Bramble can never stop wondering. Her point though, that's all the squirrels matter, survival. Well, after all, it's the animals, survival of the fittest. All they care about is not trying to die. One autumn evening, while chasing down a glowing blue butterfly deeper into the woods than any squirrel dared to go, Bramble discovered a pool of perfectly still water. I can imagine how beautiful it is to see still water motionless, but also clear as dust, clear as crystal. The stars weren't reflected in it. They floated inside it. At the center stood a silver tree whose roots disappeared into the heavens instead of the earth. An ancient raven waited there. Its feathers shimmered like midnight. I can imagine how beautiful it is to see ravens, but we don't see them often. I don't know what they look like. I guess we'll never know. Its feathers shimmered like midnight. Indeed, beautiful. You have arrived, the raven said. Bramble nearly fell into the pool. You speak squirrel. I speak every language. Indeed. To speak every language, that is a master learning. And so fluently, I can imagine how freaked out they would be. The raven introduced itself as the keeper of the first word, guardian of the oldest magic in existence. The world was once united, the keeper explained. Fair point though, we were all united, but God gave us the curse of Babel, giving us multiple languages, and we scattered. We were no longer unified. We only had one language. We were all unified. We had multiple languages. Japanese, Cantonese, English, Chinese, Russian, Malaysian, what else? German, Austrian, Belgian, Swiss. Oh, there's so many languages. So many languages. And Korean. We got so many languages now. It's hard to tell which is which. And dialects, we are so divided because of it. The curse of Babel. Every creature spoke with one another, but when greed and fear spread among humans, the first word was hidden, so no species could command another. Fair point though, if anyone's unified, it could be dangerous. There'd be nothing they can do. But God scattered them by giving them different languages, so they won't be unified anymore. And Mexican also, forgot to mention that, and Spanish, sorry. And Portuguese. So many languages. And Cuban, forgot to mention that too. And Colombian. And African, sorry. There's so many languages. We are so divided because of it. If we only spoke one language, if only. This will be easier. The keeper looked at Bramble. But every 1,000 years, one creature may reclaim it. Huh. Just one. I guess they don't want to give too many powers. The test was simple. 3 doors appear among the roots. Behind one waited endless wisdom. Behind another, unimaginable power. The third, behind the last one, was unbearable truth. But Bramble didn't choose any of them. He chose neither. He just climbed over all 3 doors. He said this, I don't want what's behind them. The keeper took his head. Like this. What do you want? I just want everyone to understand each other. That's it. Just that. For the first time in centuries, the keeper smiled. He was impressed and intrigued by his answer. Very well. That's what you want, so be it. The keeper granted his wish. The silver tree dropped a single golden acorn. When Bramble held it, something possible happened. Every sound in existence became clear. The wind, the rivers, the heartbeat of mountains, the language of insects. Every silence had a voice. Then, human words. He can now understand humans, and he can speak their language. The next morning, a young woodcutter entered the forest. He spotted Bramble. Look at this little fellow. Without thinking, Bramble replied, Good morning. The axe hit the ground. Whoa! The woodcutter screamed, Hardened squirrel! Bramble speak louder. Oh God! He understands me. Both ran in opposite directions. Oh boy, that could be very freaky. News spread faster than wildfire. A talking squirrel! Scholars arrived. Kings demanded audiences. Priests called it a miracle. Some believed it was a demon. Well, I can understand though. An animal talking all of a sudden just would freak people out. They would faint at the sight of it. They would just run away and think it's a demon. And probably try to kill it with a gun. Or shoot it or try to exorcise it. Others want to cage it. Bramble refused them all. He didn't want any of that because apparently I can imagine they'll try to dissect him. Imagine a talking squirrel coming out of nowhere. He would be a scientific marvel for every pock. He'd be poked, prodded, and probed at every crevice in his body. Yikes. He said this. If you want answers, he said, come to the forest. There. All those trees. That's where it is. So they did. For months, Bramble became something no one had ever imagined. A translator. He could now bridge the gap between animals and humans. He carried messages between humans and animals. Farmers learned crows weren't stealing crops for fun. They were starving after wetlands disappeared. Fishermen discovered dolphins intentionally guided lost sailors home. I can imagine how nice dolphins are. Wolves confessed they attacked livestock only after forests were burnt. Fair point though, all the wild animals I noticed always came eating other animals out of desperation because their forests are destroyed by humans, leveled by human greed and destruction of property. Elephants revealed ancient migration routes forgotten by humans. Whales told stories older than civilization itself. The world began listening. I can imagine how many secrets the animals know of it. I guess we'll never know. I can imagine how scary it is. They know so much more than we do, but we don't understand them. I wonder what they're thinking right now in their tiny little heads. Then came the great revelation. One spring morning, Bramble translated for an ancient oak tree. Its voice was slow. Each sentence took nearly an hour. When it finally finished speaking, Bramble's tail trembled. What did it say? The gathered crowd asked. Bramble swallowed. It remembers every human has ever rested beneath its branches. Silence spread. Oh my God. Could trees be alive? Yes, they are. They're breathing plants, but can they have emotions? Maybe. I don't know. I wonder what the trees are saying. They might be speaking a language we have no idea, and we'll never truly know. I can imagine what they're thinking right there. All those trees, palm trees. I guess what they're saying. All the plants. The trees remember names, faces, songs, promises. Generations generations long forgotten by history. Forests were not just collections of trees, they were living libraries. For a point though, these trees have been there for thousands of years, even before I was born. And those trees will be still there even if I'm dead. Even if I'm gone, no longer making YouTube videos since I'm gone now, they'll still be there. The beauty of trees. Those things will be there near the end of time, even after we're dead. Everything changed. Wars paused because horses refused to carry armies. Hunters laid down their bows after deer described what truly felt like. I can imagine being hunted by bows every year and getting shot by guns. God, how frightening that is. And getting hit by a sniper rifle. Cities build bridges over animal migration paths instead of blocking them. Children learn bird before they learn arithmetic. I can imagine learning bird language. Universities opened departments devoted to whale philosophy. Courts accepted testimony translated from elephants. Laws expanded. The phrase, all living beings, finally meant exactly that. I can imagine if animals can start thinking for themselves and have rights, then all living beings will have meaning at last. It would include all the animals and insects. You can imagine how freaky that is. Yet Bramble noticed something strange. The more humans listened, the quieter the keeper became. Oh, if we're going, the keeper has been silent as long. He returned to the silver tree. Have I done something wrong? The keeper shook his head. No. Then why is the magic fading? Because it was never meant to belong to one voice. The golden acorn cracked. Its light drifted upward like thousands of glowing seeds. Each one landed somewhere in the world. A fox. A child. A raven. An old woman. A whale. A gardener. A shepherd. One by one, the gift was spread. Not everyone could speak to every animal, but everyone could understand someone. Enough to begin. I can imagine they're actually saying things. I can imagine what they're thinking right now. You animals are pretty strange. If only we can understand you, maybe you can. Alright. I can imagine them thinking right now, watching us, curious about what we do. Maybe not. Bramble became an ordinary squirrel once more. No crowns, no statues, no palace. He returned to gathering acorns beneath the same oak where his story began. Like he always did, gathering acorns for the winter to survive. Sometimes children who visit the forest would ask. They said, "Are you really the squirrel who changed the world?" Bramble would grin. "I didn't change it." He pointed toward the birds singing overhead, the fox chatting with the shepherd, and the little girl laughing with the curious rabbit. They did, not me. Fair point though. I can imagine they're the ones who did it. Bramble just discovered it, but the rest of the animals did first started. I can imagine that's how Bramble felt. He was just a mere squirrel just doing it, and he discovered something amazing and became somebody overnight. But then after all, everyone else had the gift, he was just a nobody again. I don't think he'd mind that. Centuries later, historians still debate which event truly marked the beginning of the Age of Harmony. Some say it was the day the humans first heard a squirrel speak. Others argue it was the day they chose to listen. And if you ever went through an old forest at dawn, you might hear a squirrel chattering from the branches. Most people assume it's just another squirrel. But every now and then, someone answers, and the forest smiled. I can imagine how beautiful that is. All the animals thinking, I wonder what they really seen. Those trees have history. I guess we'll never know what they meant. They had history. They were there from the beginning. I wonder what they think right now. They have knowledge. I guess we'll never know. They've been there since time immemorial. Like, those animals will be there when you're born, and they will still be there even if the generation like me are gone. I'm gonna write here. I can imagine right now how beautiful it is. If we could speak to animals, how beautiful that would be. I wonder what those animals are thinking. I wonder what my pet cats are thinking. I guess we'll never know. We don't have any like that, but maybe someday. Maybe. I just don't know. Maybe. Thank you for watching my video. This is the Storyman signing out. Remember folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Remember, hit that like button to like this video. Subscribe to my channel by clicking the bell down there for notifications and updates from me. Comment down the comment section below what kind of story you want me to make and I will make it. It's for free and I'll do it for free. Any request you want me to do and I will do it. I'll use the Chat GPT to give it life as much as possible. And give as much life with my voice and my acting. If you do all that, this thumb will go to the end with a thumbs up. Remember, like, comment, subscribe equals a thumbs up for me to you. Remember, the story is made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair, storytelling, narration, and adlibbing were all done by a real human being, which I call myself the Story Man. Thank you, and goodbye. 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 Bye-bye. Bye.